Fishing outdoors. Got another hunting video. It's hotter than hell now. 72 degrees outside. With a light breeze. As you can see, we're set up. It is 10 till 2, so I'm in here pretty early. Probably won't see anything walk or moving until at least 4:30 or so. Seen some pretty decent stuff this morning. So the reason I'm at this spot is I hunted this last night, and I seen 2 decent does and a real nice like 9-pointer, and everything always seems to come up out of this corner. And I found a couple good paths right here that come out into this field. So I'm sitting just almost on top of one okay path here, and down just a little bit is a really nice. I mean, it's got 2 lanes coming out of it, and everything's beat down right there. So they're coming out, and it's probably about 20 yards over. They're coming back this draw here, this ridge. So what I'm thinking is either I'll see them come up, or maybe I'll get them in a window to take a shot out in the field. Last night I sat at the far corner over there. I saw them come out. They turned and walked right in front of this area right here and went back in this corner. So my thought today was, if they're going to continue to come out of that corner, I had 2 options, or 3 actually. I had 3 options I was looking at. Sitting here, where I could catch them in that corner maybe. Or second option was to go down into the ridge, catch them coming up. I'm not sure exactly where. It's a pretty nasty ravine over here, so I'm not sure exactly where they're coming up at, or which direction they're coming from. I just know that I didn't see them over there, and they come out this corner every single time. So that was my second option, was to sit down in there and maybe see them coming up here. My third option was to sit in this corner over here where everything that's came out has kind of went to. They always seem to. Last night the does kind of wanted to go out the east side there where I come in, but there was a bunch of squirrels making noise. They weren't real keen on it, so they came down this way as well, but everything always funnels back down into this corner. So I was thinking maybe sitting there. The only problem with sitting there is by the time they actually got there, it was after shooting hours. It was dark, so I need to catch them before that, and the best way to do it would be down in that ravine. But if I was to kill something down in there, I don't know how I'd have to get some help to drag it out. That's pretty nasty. I mean, it's somewhat flat up here and it slopes off nice and easy, but then just 20 feet either direction, straight down. So we're here. I got a couple shooting lanes, and it's actually a little bit better now that most of the leaves have fallen. I actually got a few more areas here that I could actually squeeze an arrow through if I needed to. Before, the first time I sat this a couple weeks ago, it was pretty tight. I only had about 2 little holes I could shoot through. Now I'm looking at maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 to 7-ish. So hey, stay tuned. Let's see if that big buck comes in. He was a pretty 9-point. If he comes in and I get a shot, he will probably finish my buck tags for this year. Stay tuned. This might be a botch. I just had this guy walk in. It's 2:30. Been here for 40 minutes. I just walked in, set a blind up on the, I don't know, probably 80 yards away on the edge of the field, right near the corner where them deer like come out. Didn't brush it in, didn't do anything, just set it up, sat down, I whistled at him. I know he saw me. I waved to him, and he didn't care. He just sat. Kind of pisses me off a little bit. I mean, if it was me, and somebody whistled at me and was waving, and I seen they were in the same field, I'd go to the next field over. There's like 10 fields around here, and there's like 3 that's landlocked, and they've got these little fields in the middle of the timber, like what I'm sitting on. Understanding maybe that deer he's after, I'm after the same one, but dude, I was here first. Go find somewhere else. Now he's got this big blind sitting at the edge of the field, which is not normally there. So now the deer are gonna come out, they're gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, nope, I'm getting out of here. No, that ain't been there before. I mean, if you're gonna set up a blind on a public land, you need to brush it in or something, make it look like the terrain. You can't just set it out on the edge of the field and think the deer are not gonna, they're gonna walk right up to you. So now it's 2:30 and this guy's here, and if I see the deer that I want to see and he doesn't shoot it first and happens to walk by him, I mean, I know it's public land, but somebody waved at me, personally, I would go somewhere else. I wouldn't sit the exact same field. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it's kind of bullcrap, I think. I would find a different location. I wouldn't sit right on top of somebody else. You could go up around the corner here, and there's another grass field right over the edge, or there's a sunflower field right here, and there's a cornfield right there. Go sit on one of those. That was pretty cool. So I seen 2 turkeys over here, and I started talking to them. And they perked their head up, and they'd look around. I talked to them a little bit more, and they just kind of go back to doing what they were doing. They were slowly coming my way. I think they seen me when I moved, but I started talking to them, and man, they started gobbling and just hauling tail right towards me. And so I grabbed my bow real quick because it looked like they were gonna run right by me. And then they stopped. They all kind of just sat there for a minute. And they turned and they ran into the woods real quick. I think they see me grab my bow. They come in back here in the woods. I saw one come down. There were 3 of them total. But I don't know where they went from there. They're down in the ridge somewhere. That was pretty cool though. I would assume I've seen more turkeys in the last 2 days than I've seen ever out here hunting. I think there was 3 in the field. I think there was another 1 or 2 in the timber that I couldn't see. The only 3 in the field were all hens, I believe. That was pretty cool. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I have a turkey tag. If I could take one, that'd be awesome. But just that interaction, talking to them, having them come in, it was pretty cool. field over here from what I can tell. She took about 5 steps into the field, looked straight down here and said, nope. Went back in. I guarantee you she saw this guy's blind. And if he wasn't sitting there, they probably would have walked right out here in front of us. It's a shame, I tell you what. I just seen her duck back in. I don't know if I'll see her again. All right, let's have a little discussion. So, as we already know, we had a guy come in, set up a blind 80 yards from me, right where deer always come out. I've been in that spot 3 times, seen deer come out of that 3 times. My buddy set that field 2 or 3 times, seen deer come out of that every single time. He sits there, brings in the blind, nothing comes out of that corner. Now, I said earlier that I thought that the turkeys saw me move. I don't think it was me. I think they come, because I was sitting there talking to them, and they started piping up, because they weren't talking at all when they first came in. And I started talking to them, and they started making little squeaky noises, and then they puffed up a little bit, and I talked to them a little bit more, and all of a sudden here they just gobble and going crazy and come running towards me. And I mean, they were probably 10 yards away from the kill zone, what I had planned for them to walk into where I was going to shoot, and they just stopped in their tracks, stood there for a minute, turned and walked away, walked into the woods, walked right in front of me in the woods, but there was just too much debris. I didn't have a shot. I seen all 3 of them walk in. So to me, after doing a little thinking about it and analyzing, I think it was because they come running that way, they saw that blind, and nope, not going towards that. And then, I don't know if I told you or not, but I had a doe come in on the far side, and I bet you there would have been another doe and a buck coming in on that side, because there's 2 does and a buck that travel that little area right there every evening. And she come in, she took about 5 steps in, she looked around, she looked down the end of the field where that blind was sitting, she said, nope, out. So, anybody watching this who wants to hunt public ground, don't hunt out of a blind. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the scenario, but everything leads up to it pretty well. For a blind to really work, you need to leave it sit for a week or 2. That way the deer get used to it. Otherwise, as soon as they walk in, they see it, they're gonna, hell no, they ain't going towards it. That's why all these guys, like in Texas and stuff, when you see them they're hunting out of blinds, they set those blinds up. Those blinds don't move all year round. They stay there. So I think I was pretty well botched from the beginning. That's, and then, like I said, another thing to me, it also just seems like that if you're going to go into I waved at the guy, I whistled at him to let him know I was there, because one, if he took a shot, I was kind of, I mean, if there's any deer that actually came out in between us, he was going to be shooting uphill, and if he missed, that arrow could definitely possibly hit, be right at me. It may be low, but it would be headed my direction and have a good chance of possibly hitting me. So that made me a little uncomfortable as well. That's why I kind of was like, hey, I'm here, see me? And I waved at him. He just kind of looked at me and then got in his blind. So it kind of takes me off a little bit. But then to top it all off, last night I sat that same spot and there was a nice 9-point. I pretty sure you guys seen it. I'll even pull it up right here again. That came out, and he had 2 does with him, and they almost got in shooting range, but they just kind of went the other direction in the field, and they came out at 5:05. I do tonight. I'm sitting there, and I happen to just do my sweep across the can, and all of a sudden the blind's gone. I'm like, well, what the hell? Where'd it go? And I look over, and the guy's just standing at the edge of the timber, just standing there. It's 5:05. Oh, sorry, it was 5:07. I looked at my watch, 5:07. Literally, 5:05 last night, that deer came out. What are you doing packing up your stuff before it's even remotely close to dark? So, right then I was like, well, this hunt's over with. And then he stood there like he was waiting for me. Like he knew I was there and he was waiting for me to get out of the tree. I was blown away. He kept looking at me too. I'm like, what is he doing? So then he moseys up about 20 yards. He's still got about another 30 or 40 to go before he gets to the opening to that field. And he stops and he's looking around and he's kicking some brush and he's looking, and then he looks back over me and he just kind of stands there. I don't know this guy. Why would you stand there and like wait? I swear it was like he was waiting for me. So I waited till he finally got through the brush before I climbed down, and I ended up beating him to the truck after I waited, after I finally was packed up and ready to move 10 minutes after he had left, after I couldn't see him anymore. But just a little rant, I guess, is whatever. Blow it off. I got a couple more days. Hopefully I don't run into a situation like that again. I did tell him, I was nice to him when I met him at the truck, because I actually got to my truck and he got to his car after me. Not much, I mean, he was right there, but I cut across the field, he went the long way around. And I did talk to him when he was there, and I asked him how many deer he killed out of that blind, and he said none. And I said, that should tell you something. I would ditch that thing. If you're gonna hunt public ground and not have a tree stand, then just sit on a log somewhere and brush yourself in to where you've got lots of brush around you, and just hide that way. Bring you a chair and throw some brush around you or whatever, and sit there. But don't bring a blind, because that's the first thing they see, and it's big. They're not gonna go near it. And he's like, he was like, really? And I said, yeah. And I said, another thing, just as common courtesy, if you see another hunter in that field, you should probably move on to somewhere else and not sit the same field. I said, I was nice. I said, I don't know how new you are to this area or hunting in general, but just some tips. It's better for you to be sitting by yourself than next to somebody, because like I said, if you're within 80 yards, I know my bow, if I've got the right trajectory, I can shoot 100 yards with it. It'll fly, no problems. But just one, as a safety issue, and then two, just common courtesy of who was ever there first. And he understood. He was good about it. He was, like I said, I wasn't trying to be a dick to him or anything, but and he wasn't a dick back or anything like that. But. Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. Shooting lights in about 10 minutes. We made our way down the river. Got in here really early. Thought we were gonna have an island to ourselves. And there's 2 boats that rolled in. So we're not gonna be here by ourselves. But it's pretty bushy back here, but I found me a little setup, couple little shooting lanes. And we'll see how this morning goes. Already seen some fresh deer tracks on the beach coming in, so maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't, but a bunch of people have been hunting this. I don't see it being that great. Well, I don't think that we had a very good idea. We haven't seen anything this morning. 9:15. And my buddy's already back in the boat, said that he can see 3 boats docked up to this island. So, we're definitely not out here alone, and there's probably people that's hunted this so damn much this week that there ain't no deer out here. It's not a real wide island, it's just really long. So, that might have been a botch. Well, this kind of sucks. My buddy just sent me another picture. There were 3 boats and 5 guys hauling stands into the timber just recently. So I think this area is going to be botched. I think everybody's coming in for the rut. And it's just going to mess everything up. Warm weather. That many people. It's not going to be good. There goes another boat. Oh. Not good stuff, not good stuff. There they are, and there they go. Let's go see what old buddy has to say. Looks like they're slowing down to his boat. Oh yeah, pulling up to him. Let's go see what they have to say. So what's up, guys? Real quick, I want to apologize because I know this video's got a lot of talking in it. But I just kind of wanted to show you some of the stress and whatnot that goes along with hunting public land and working with other people and just trying to hunt around them. Everybody's kind of got the same idea for the most part. Sometimes you got to think out of the box, but in these particular times, yeah, it does make you a little angry, the way people are doing things, but nothing's really illegal, so it's not like you can do much about it. But I just wanted to I noticed I didn't close it out here, so I wanted to kind of close it out and say, hey, you know, these are the situations that can come about, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches and stick with it. You know, I've had some good success this year, and every day I was out there was a better day than being stuck at home or at work. So we enjoyed our time, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you can you say we'll see you next time?